Welcome back to another amazing show for another week of SportsZone. I'm Brendan O'Donnell. I'll be your host for today. It's a very exciting day for Texas sports. We've got opening day of baseball. UNT is in a championship game. I'm super excited about that one. It is tonight. I cannot wait to talk about it. And to help me talk about it, I've got Kendall Keaton and Gabe Ive here. How are y'all doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. I'm really excited for this game, ready to see this championship matchup. Now, UNT had a big comeback win against Wisconsin earlier this week where they shut out Wisconsin for the last 9 minutes of the game to get a comeback. Gabe, how impressive was that win?
Was this one impressive? This one was super impressive. In the second half, I'm sure many people already know, but just so it's restated, we held a Power 5 team in the Big Ten that many considered up until around January to be a top 25 ranked team to 13 points. That is impressive. Even though everybody around the UNT program and people that have been in tune with UNT have known that we aren't at a level of a Conference USA typical team, it's a chance that we proved it on the big stage the other night.
Yeah, we have like the best defense in the nation. It just doesn't get talked about like it actually exists. Like we actually do have one of the greatest defenses, and we finally proved that earlier this week. Kendall, how'd you feel about it?
I was impressed because they only scored 29 points in the first half, so it was 41-29 at halftime, and so after the second half, they came out swinging, and Wisconsin blew a 12-point lead too, so that was cool.
Yeah. Looking at the championship we have now, we get to go against UAB, one of our conference rivals, and you were on earlier this year to talk about UAB and Jelly Walker. How fired up do you think UNT is getting to face the team that kicked them out of the Conference USA tournament? How do you feel, Gabe?
I think that they're very fired up. This team caused the game that led to this motivation of being just devastated of not making the NCAA tournament, having the highest net ranking, but just not getting in. And so it has led to this run. So I think it's a great culmination and kind of getting to show how we responded off of that. I think Tyler Perry will be fired up to kind of avenge the performance of Jelly Walker. Many would say would outdueled him, in the semifinal game. He just went off. And so I think Tyler will be fired up to try and have a similar performance. And also with some of the rumors going on around the program and around Texas about potential jobs opening up, I think the team will be very inspired to play for Grant McCasland tonight.
Well, let's take a deep dive into this game itself. UNT versus UAB. What can we do to recreate, or what can we do from those first two wins? What can we recreate to beat them this fourth time around, Kendall?
Mm-hmm. I think defense, they don't really need to change much. They, of course, show up every game. They've carried the team every single time. And also making your free throws. The last two games have came down to free throws in the last second. So if they can get those down, and they should be good. Play physical and be very active. And then limit UAB to their three-point because they shoot a little bit better than UNT when they played each other. So if you can limit them at the three-point line, then they should be good.
Yeah, stopping them from getting to the line is going to be huge. They were number one in Conference USA and getting to the line and third in percentage. So if they're getting to the line that whole game, getting fouls, then it's going to be hard for us to keep up because we can't play defense from the free throw line. Mm-hmm. So we got to play defense beforehand. Gabe, what about you? What do we need to recreate?
We need to recreate, I would say, in our first game against them in Birmingham this year, Kai Huntsberry had 19 points. In the second game, although it wasn't as big of a total, Reuben Jones had 12 points. We're going to need to see performances like those combine a little bit in a sense. While Tyler Perry is going to be able to hopefully do a lot for us as our star player, we're going to need a lot of solid performances from guys he can assist to tonight. That's, I think, one of the big ways we can reach.
For sure. Yeah, and then let's go ahead and just look at some keys to this game. What can we do for this game? Ignore the past. These are two totally different teams since we've last played. Both teams have battled their way through the NIT. What are the keys to the game, Kendall?
I think creating and taking good shots. Don't just lob the ball up there. If you have a good shot, take it. But if not, I guess try to drive it to the basket, create contact, draw the foul, and make your free throws. Clean up the 3 points because they shoot a little bit sloppy when it comes to that. So if they can clean that up, they should be good. And I think the starters need to have a really strong game coming out, and the bench players need to contribute a little bit more as well. And so,
sweet, I love it.
Game.
Gabe, going to you.
Yes, one of the things that I just cannot stress enough is rebounding. Going right along with that is Mule Sissoko. He's been great in the NIT, stepping it up in the presence of Boo Usbane. with dealing with some of his personal issues with his family. I think we're going to need to see another big game from him tonight. I just think that if Trey Jemison is able to get on the boards, I think that's going to lead to a lot of what you were talking about with the free throws and getting set. It's going to lead to second chance points and us fouling, which could also potentially lead to Sissoko fouling out, which we need that big man presence down inside. And then the last couple of keys I have are, I think it's really hard, as shown, to contain Jelly Walker, and so kind of shutting down his supporting cast of Tiber, Eric Gaines, and Trey Jemison.
Sweet. Well, hopefully we can get a UNT Mean Green win tonight. That's going to be at 8:30. Make sure to watch it. Games like this only happen once in a lifetime. Stay tuned as we talk about opening day baseball coming up next.
Are you feeling okay?
No, I've been feeling gross all week.
Maybe you should go get a COVID test.
But I already have all 3 of my shots.
Yeah, but you can still get it. I mean, maybe you should go get one just in case.
Yeah, you're right. We have that party and all that.
Yeah.
Where do we even get tested here?
Let me check.
You can find free COVID testing sites at the University Union, room 381 on weekdays, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., and on weekends, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., and at Chestnut Hall, room 120, from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. You have to show the QR code given to you when you arrive for an appointment. Tests take no longer than 10 minutes to complete. Results will be sent through text or email within the next 48 hours.
I got a negative COVID test. Me too. Oh my god, let's go to the party. Yes. Let's go.
Welcome back. It's a really big day today for baseball. Every single team is playing, seeing how it's the opening day, and we decided we were going to do 2 whole segments about baseball. So joining me for this first segment, I've got Tyler Luker and Jay Lathan. How excited are y'all that baseball is back?
I mean, it's the most wonderful time of the year. The sun is shining, the grass is glowing, and hope fills the hearts of millions of fans and players around the league.
Jay, what about you?
Man, I'm super excited to see these super teams, man. You got the Padres out west. They picked up Nelson Cruz in the offseason, big bat Matt Carpenter on his last legs of his career, Xander Bogaerts, another all-star infielder. You got the Mets in the Big Apple with Verlander and Scherzer, old Detroit combo. Then you got the Phillies in the brotherly love. They picked up the WBC American hero Trey Turner. You had Schwarber hitting bombs, JT Realmuto hitting bombs. And we haven't even started about Harper, though, come in mid-season.
We've got an exciting season, lots of great players moving around teams. But there was also a change outside of the teams. It was an official rule change. It's pretty rare, but what do y'all think about the rule changes? The pitch clock probably being the biggest of them. Tyler, do you think this will actually matter, or are we going to forget about it by All-Star break?
Well, we already had earlier today, Rafael Devers was the first victim of the pitch clock strikeout. I think it's going to change the game for the better. It's going to make games faster, increasing that pace of play. And I think that's, out of all the new rule changes, that's the one that jumps out to me the most.
I completely agree with you. As the MLB has came out and said during spring training that games have shortened by an average of 26 minutes. Now, although I agree speeding up games is important, but when you have runners on base, as a hitter, that's a pressure-filled situation that you might need more than 8 seconds to get yourself together.
The Rangers right now are actually playing against the Phillies, and we've all been keeping up and watching it as it's been going on today. How do y'all think they look so far? Look at some of their off-season acquisitions, how have they played, and how excited are you for the season? We'll start with you, Jay.
Everybody knows that big addition is Jacob deGrom. If he could stay healthy, he's a 2-time Cy Young winner. Last season, he put up a 3.8 ERA, but I think if he stays healthy, bounce back season, he could be a dominant for him.
Yeah, I think the Rangers, they showed if you can't build a rotation, go out and buy one. They did it with Nathan Eovaldi, Andrew Heaney, of course, Jacob deGrom, but also getting Bruce Bochy in that manager spot. And also important, Mike Maddox as your pitching coach. He is phenomenal. He was phenomenal for the Cardinals, phenomenal for the Rangers in the past. Pitching's not been so great today, but the bats, they scored 9 runs in the 4th inning. They're leading, 11-5, 11-6 right now. They have looked great.
Yeah, everything's looked positive for the Rangers so far, and first time in about 7 years that we've actually felt good about something. It's only game 1. Can't get too excited yet. But one thing I do know y'all are excited about is we're going to do some way too early predictions. And I know y'all love it because you just get to put all your passion into this. So, Tyler, starting with you, give me your World Series prediction. What matchup are you thinking? Who's your winner?
Well, my matchup is the most historic World Series matchup of all time. They've met 11 times before. I have Dodgers-Yankees meeting in the Fall Classic once again. They've played each other 86 times total. 66 of them have been in the World Series. I think the Yankees get past the Astros. 4th time the charm for them. They finally slay their beast. And I think the Dodgers, they don't win as many regular season games this year, but they take inspiration from what the Braves did when they won it all, and the Phillies whenever they made it and lost to the Astros. They win less games. They're not as much pressure on them, and I think that helps them go all the way.
Jay, I think you might have something to say about that World Series matchup. How are you feeling about it? Who are you going with?
It's funny you say the Astros, man, because I'm from Houston, and, you can't pass that up. I have the Houston Astros coming in as your World Series champions. I think they beat the Padres in 6 games. They just have the experience. They didn't really lose anybody. They added that power bat of Jose Abreu, and it was just a reload year, honestly, not even a reset. And, the Padres just went all the way in so far with this just stars galore in that lineup.
Back-to-back repeating champions. It must feel good for you to feel that good about your team. It's rare that teams are able to repeat. Now let's look at another just way too early prediction. Jay, who you got as the MVP of the season?
Going to the AL, it's a man that just got a bag, man. Julio Rodriguez, he got $210 million over 12 years. I'm expecting him to put up a 30-30 season with home runs and stolen bases. He hit 298 this year. I think he could get 300 as he gets a first full season in the big leagues.
For me, for the National League, I have Nolan Arenado. American League, I have Jose Ramirez. Both guys, talented third basemen, and both of them have been knocking on the door for what it feels like a decade, and I think both of them kick it in this year and lead their teams to the playoffs as their MVP.
Sweet. Well, that's all we have for this block on baseball, but that's not it for baseball quite yet. We've got more coming up next soon. We'll have deeper talks into the Rangers and just some more fun predictions as well, so stay tuned for all of that after the break.
He's been walking in the desert for days at a time. He finally comes across a bar and orders a Coke.
That's not funny.
Eh? Eh?
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Let's get started. This is a motor vehicle. This is the blinker mechanism. To use it, push it up for the right blinker and down to go left. You're welcome. It was easy.
Live from UNT, it's Wheel of Culture!
Welcome back to Wheel of Culture. Our contestant is so close to solving this puzzle. But first, it's time to give the wheel a spin. Wow, you landed on London, one of the many places where you and your fellow students can go on a chance to experience new culture. But only if you can solve this puzzle.
I'd like to solve the puzzle. Study abroad.
That's correct. You just won yourself a trip to study abroad in London, England, and you can too. Just go to studyabroad.unt.edu to see deadlines and apply for scholarships. Get ready to study abroad.
Welcome back. I'm Brendan O'Donnell. I'll be hosting the rest of the show for us. And like I said, we've got more baseball for you. It's rare we do 2 blocks on the same sport, but it's opening day. It should be a national holiday. Joining me for this, I've got Amanda Molini and Matthew Watson. How excited are y'all for this new season?
I promise you, there is no one that's more excited than me.
I don't doubt it. You've been watching all day long.
I'm just like, why are we here? It's a national holiday.
Exactly.
We should have
exactly.
the day
We
off.
should be at
Let
home.
me,
we can
you know.
cover it tomorrow, you know?
Yeah, I totally agree.
All right, but let's break into it a little bit. Amanda, which team are you most excited for this year?
I mean, oh my goodness. I think I'm really excited for the Baltimore Orioles. They've got a really good, solid young team with Adley Rutschman and Gunnar Henderson. And obviously, I'm a big Astros fan. Everyone knows that. And the Orioles look a lot like the Astros were whenever the Astros were kind of starting to come up there in 2015, 2016, kind of throughout that run. So I'm really excited about the Orioles. I cannot lie.
Matthew, over to you. What team is the most exciting for you?
Well, that was a great pick. But being local here, I mean, are we not excited about the Texas Rangers? He's got the best pitcher in baseball. The best pitcher in baseball.
But he got roughed up.
It doesn't matter. Aaron Nola's a Cy Young candidate, and he also got roughed up.
That's a little bit different.
It's going to happen. It's opening day. It's not a little bit different. Come on now, Amanda. This guy won 2 Cy Young candidates. Nola's not even approached the podium
That's
yet.
fair. That's fair.
You know, this is the best pitcher we've seen since Nolan Ryan was here, and that we weren't alive.
Fair.
And it's been an exciting day,
Yeah.
just today for
Heck
the Rangers
yes.
at least. I said in the last block, like, we can hold on to this hope for as long as possible because it's been a long time since Rangers fans have had any hope. But let's dive into some teams that maybe aren't quite as exciting and are flying under the radar right now. Matthew, what team do you think is flying under the radar?
Well, I think she stole mine. Amanda, I really like the Orioles, but I'm going to change it, and I'm going to say the Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals are probably like a pretty heavy favorite to win the World Series, or at some point an odds favorite to win it at any time because they got Arenado at third and Goldie at first. But I mean, I just think that they're set up. They're probably one of the most well-run organizations in the entire league. And next to probably the Astros and the Braves, and maybe the Dodgers, of course the Dodgers and the Yankees. But I would say the Cardinals. I want to say this right now. NL Rookie of the Year is going to be Jordan Walker. He's 20 years old, folks. 20 years old. What were we all doing at 20? Probably not hitting 100 miles.
I was going to say, I was definitely sitting here at 20 years old.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. I wasn't doing anything.
I don't think the Cardinals are going to fly under the radar. I think everyone's perfectly prepared for the Cardinals.
Okay.
I think the Kansas City Royals have the chance to be sneaky good. I don't think they're going to be great because they're kind of like definitely like down in the dumps and stuff. But I think Aroldis Chapman is going to be surprisingly.
He's on the Royals?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Oh, well, I think he's going to be worth something to them. Zach Greinke put up some good numbers today. I think Bobby Witt Jr. is going to have a standout season. So I think the Royals have the opportunity to be kind of okay.
The Royals have 2 local guys.
They do.
Bobby Witt and
do.
Hunter Dozier.
Yes.
Shout out Hunter Dozier, alumni, Denton High School, right here.
Nice. Well, we're loving watching the Rangers today. Is today a one-time thing, or are they finally going to have a winning record, Amanda?
I don't think. Well, okay. Winning record, yes. Playoff contenders, I don't think so. I think you have too much to fight for in terms of the rest of the AL West because I know the Astros are going to stay good. They've not really shown any hindrance in the past couple of years. I think the Seattle Mariners are on the come up too with Julio Rodriguez, like Jay said in the last block. You know, I think they have the talent to stay good and stay on the cusp of the wild card, but I don't think the Rangers are quite there yet. I think they're putting too much into their pitching stock, and I don't think it's going to work out for them well because Jacob deGrom is injury prone, and when you join the Rangers organization, all of a sudden you don't know how to play baseball.
Well, you got to hope you win soon. DeGrom's almost 35 already.
Sure.
You have him signed at least 40, so I mean, that's some time, but for a guy who's already injury prone and aging, it's going to be tough to not try to win as soon as possible.
Oh, boy. You're wrong.
No, I'm not.
Here's the deal.
My gosh.
The Phillies went 87 and 75.
You said that was attainable for the Rangers.
That's
so not obtainable.
That is attainable because not only did they add DeGrom, but they had Mike Maddox. And the last time they had Mike Maddox, guess what? They went to the World Series 2 years in a row, people.
And how many times did they
guess
win?
Who else they
How
had?
many times did they
the guy
win?
that beat them in the World Series, Bruce Bochy, as their manager. They got
Bruce
3
Bochy's
years.
old too.
And they will achieve it in 3 years.
You got a geriatric Rangers
in 3
team.
years, people. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Jacob deGrom is going to pitch 200 innings this year.
Wrong.
Yes, he did it with the Mets before he got hurt last year.
But then he got hurt.
Verlander's on the IL. The Mets are screwed. Rangers to the moon. Rangers to the moon.
All right, let's keep this passion. Let's see if we can have some wild predictions as well, just like the last block. Matthew, you keep going with it. You're really passionate about the Rangers. Are they in your World Series?
No, they're not.
Exactly!
But it doesn't matter.
Oh my gosh.
Nobody expects them to be there.
That's
Nobody
true.
expected the Phillies to be there, especially whenever they were at the bottom of the barrel before they fired Girardi.
Yeah,
Then they
okay.
fired Girardi. Then what did that happen? Oh, they're in the World Series.
All right,
Oh my gosh,
do
it
you
can
got
happen,
then?
people.
Who is your World
The
Series
Yankees
then?
versus the Padres, and I got the Yankees over the Padres.
Oh my gosh.
I got Aaron
Why
Judge.
the
Aaron Judge is
Yankees?
going to win the Triple Crown. Aaron Judge is going to win the Triple Crown. He's going to hit more home runs than anybody else. He's going to have more RBIs than anybody else. And without the shift, he's going to have a better average than anybody else.
Sure, I'll take that. That was.
And then
that one-
your Dawn's going to finish in second.
Yeah, okay, I'll take it.
And Ohtani is going to shove it, and he's going to be AL Cy Young.
Well, we've got a very passionate crew here about baseball. So glad it's opening day, and we'll be having baseball blocks the rest of the semester. But up next, we're going to talk about the Final Four. Last chance to talk about it as it ends this weekend. So y'all come back after the break and take the deep dive with us.
And now we return to Fabric of Passion.
Oh, Hector, it will be so hard for us to part, but we must.
But, my love, what did I do? I thought we were meant to be together forever.
I am so disheartened to say that you're just not in style anymore. But you will be, to someone else, in a better place.
You're gonna shred me?
No.
I'm donating you to one of the many clothing donation boxes available on campus. There is one in the Union by the Syndicate and one on Union Circle Drive.
Oh, well, why didn't you just say so? I'm gonna be someone's new shirt.
I thought you'd be more distressed.
Oh, absolutely not. It was cramped in your closet anyways.
Maybe you would like to be shredded after all.
Can I see your voter registration, please? All right, you're good. No registration, no entry. All right. Let me see your voter registration card, please.
I'm not registered to vote.
No registration, no entry.
Dude, my friends are already in there.
No registration, no entry.
What the?
Join the club. Register to vote today.
And welcome back. To end off this exciting day in sports, we're going to be talking about the Final Four. Now, sadly, UNC wasn't in this bracket, and my hometown team, Texas, lost to Miami last week. But we've got some interesting people still in this Final Four. So to help us break it down a little bit, I've got Brandon Brown and Isaiah Ortiz. How are y'all doing?
Pretty good. Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Awesome, awesome. So not a single seed higher than the 4 seed is currently in the Final Four. Is this just one of the craziest March Madnesses y'all have ever seen?
Oh, man. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it. I mean, no blue bloods are, unless you count UConn as a blue blood, no blue bloods are in the Final Four, even really made it past the Sweet 16. But I'm not totally shocked, just because of how the landscape was this year. There was never really a true number 1 seed. It was kind of flip-flopped all year. Alabama would get up there, they would lose. UConn was up there earlier in the year, they had that slid. I mean, it was really flip-flop all year. So I'm surprised, but I'm not totally shocked.
Yeah, Brandon, how are you feeling?
Yeah, let me just say, like, right off the bat, I don't think any single person had these 4 teams in the Final Four. This is just madness. I mean, even last week when Texas was, doing okay against Miami and then they blew it, I thought, okay, at least there will be one team.
Yeah, one of the top teams
expected.
expected to be there.
Right, and then sure enough, there's just all these teams that like nobody saw coming. It's kind of crazy that FAU, a CUSA team, is this far. That's just nuts to me. It's been very fun to watch. It's been very interesting, and I am very much intrigued for the long haul to see which of these teams can kind of pull it out.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all knew, but this is the second lowest combined average of the seedings ever. And that's insane to me. It's just rare that this happens where teams that aren't in the top seeds don't end up making it this far. So it's very exciting. I think the team I'm most excited for is FAU, as heartbreaking as it is to see another Conference USA member be in the tournament. They're there. I think I'll be rooting for them. But how do y'all feel about FAU being in the Final Four? And how does this relate to UNC? Brandon, I'll start with you on this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's really bittersweet. Like you said, it kind of sucks that UNT isn't in this position that some would say like this belongs to us, and I definitely think we have a chance to do some damage if it was, but at the same time, it's like an old rival, you know, all heads must bow. Like, you got to feel somewhat proud of FAU for even coming this far and with a legitimate shot at this finals game. It makes me feel good. Like, it's weird to like root for FAU, but it makes me feel good too. It's like, way to go, guys.
Yeah, I mean, we played against them all year. We have some relation with this team. Where we were fighting against them, it's like, all right, props to you guys at this point. Have some sportsmanship for them. Isaiah, how do you feel about it all?
I mean, let's talk about the positive momentum. UNC, FAU, UAB, all these type of teams that are going into the American Conference next year. I mean, you're also going to be competing with Penny Hardaway's Memphis team. That's going to be really tough. But FAU being in the Final Four really makes that conference really, really fun to watch next year.
Yeah, well, let's dive into this bracket. Let's finish it up real quick. I mean, nobody had it to this Final Four, so let's just end it with this Final Four. All right, we've got FAU versus San Diego State. Brandon, who do you got in this game? What's happening here?
You know, my brain says San Diego State, but my heart says FAU, so I'm going to say FAU gets the dub, 69-57.
FAU to the finals. I love it. Isaiah, over to you.
Yeah, I just can't count out FAU. They've been so good all year in these close games. They're a reason why they're an over 30-win team this year. I have them winning about 59-55.
All right, well, let's take a look at that other game. We've got the Miami Hurricanes versus UConn. Who do y'all have in this game? Isaiah, starting with you on this one, who's making it to play against FAU?
I mean, I know a lot of Miami fans don't want their team to be picked when they're making these predictions, but I'm gonna let them live. I'm gonna pick UConn here. I don't know how you stop that duo of Sendogo in the starting lineup, and then you have Klingon as your backup, a 5-star prospect. That's just a deadly duo.
Yeah, they've got a deadly team. They're going for their, I believe, their 5th championship since 1999. They've had a pretty good last 20 years there. Brandon, over to you. Who's making it?
I think I have to pick the other team for this one. Like you said, that duo's been incredible, just elite this season. But there's just something about Miami. Like, when I watch them play, they have this, like, vibe of, like, they are not going to take an L. Like, I can't explain it, but there's this weird feeling I have that Miami is going to win over UConn.
All right, so both of y'all have FAU in your finals matchup. We've got FAU versus UConn, FAU versus Miami. All right, let's see if FAU ends up getting the full tournament win in our bracket. Brandon, who's winning it?
Miami. I know you were setting it up for FAU, and I want FAU to win. I really do. But like I said, I just have this weird feeling like Miami is not going to take this loss. They're going to win it all.
All right, Isaiah, last chance for a Conference USA team to achieve something that I never thought was possible. I didn't think they could even make it this far. Are they doing it?
I'm going to have to say no.
No as well.
I have UConn. They've just been so dominant in this tournament. Check out the stat. They have, in every single win, has been over 15 points, all blowouts. By the second half, it has not been competitive, and even with FAU being in these close, grinded-out games, I just don't see that happening against this UConn team.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for today. Wonderful day in sports. Hopefully next week could be just as good. Thank you to the crew. Thank you to everybody for being here. Y'all take